Hello and welcome to Nothing But the Truth. Once again, the Christian community in India feels it's under attack. In the last few days, we've seen an attack on a church in Haryana, the gruesome rape of an elderly nun in Bengal, and a spate of provocative comments by senior BJP politicians as well as members of the Sangh Parivar. In response, Christian MPs from all parties in Parliament have formed a special body to keep a watch on the developing situation. But how does the Catholic Church view what's happening? And is it satisfied with the response from the authorities? To answer those questions, my guest is the head of the Catholic Bishops' Conference, Cardinal Cleemis. Cardinal Cleemis, in the last few months, there have been a spate of attacks on Christian churches, nuns and priests. This has happened in Delhi, Bengal, Haryana, but to be honest, it's happened in several other places in the country as well. As head of the Catholic Church, how do you respond to these attacks?
This is a very painful situation. The tragic events are done in various parts of the country, especially on the attack of the minorities, specifically on the Christian communities. Something sad, something tragic, something which is alarming.
Now, the Archbishop of Delhi fairly recently said that he believed these attacks were orchestrated. He said there was an agenda behind them. Do you agree with that view?
Well, we have various responses on this particular subject of attack on Christians, depending on different perspectives and various experiences. I must say, these are not incidents in isolation.
By which you mean that, in fact, there is a pattern behind them?
I am not able to judge anyone now, but there is a conscious effort, at least from certain corners, some certain people, to misguide the whole community in India, I mean the general society.
Last week, Giulio Roberto, one of India's most senior and distinguished former police officers, wrote in the Indian Express, and I'm quoting him. He said, "I feel threatened, not wanted, reduced to a stranger in my country." And then he added, "I am not an Indian anymore, at least in the eyes of the proponents of the Hindu Rashtra." In your opinion, does that view reflect the sentiments and thinking of many more Christians? Or is it just Giulio Roberto's point of view?
I don't want to share exactly the words spoken, but there are a lot of people who feel that their Christian identity is being questioned, Indian Christian identity is being questioned, and it gives certain sense of sadness.
When you say that a lot of people who feel their Christian identity is being questioned, are you saying that people are questioning the right of Christians to be considered full-fledged Indians? Is that what it amounts to?
No, what I mean to say is, who are the citizens of this country? If not all those who believe in various religions, various faith formulations, and even those who are not believing in any religion at all, to all of them belong this great country of ours.
So what you're saying to me is that Christians are as much citizens of India as Hindus or Muslims or anyone else. They are equal and equivalent citizens of India as anyone else. Have I understood that correctly?
All the people, all the citizens of this country are equal, not on the basis of religious faith. Am I clear?
You are indeed clear. Therefore, at the moment, when these attacks are happening on churches, priests and nuns, when there is a commentary that seems to question the identity and the right of Christians to be Christians, does your flock feel apprehensive and worried? Do some Christians feel insecure?
I am worried in the sense that this attack on Christians on various parts of the country, but I am not depressed, because I am fully conscious of my identity and the Christian citizens of this country, that they are full-fledged citizens of this great nation.
Now, last month, Cardinal Cleemis, in a very powerful speech at a meeting organized by the Syro-Malabar Catholic Church, Prime Minister Modi said, and I'm quoting him, "My government will not allow any religious group belonging to the majority or to the minority to incite hatred against others overtly or covertly." At the time, the church welcomed this statement. But now, a month later, do you feel the Prime Minister's statement is either being ignored, or do you feel that it hasn't had the effect you hoped it would?
I think the promise has to be taken seriously by everyone in the country, especially the people in governance.
But do you fear that that statement is not being taken seriously at the moment? Is that your fear and concern?
The incidents show that not everybody has taken it seriously.
Do you believe the time has come for the Prime Minister to say or do more? Are you looking for further action from the government to give greater protection, to give greater assurance to Christians?
I mean to say in a different way, who are being attacked? Indians, whether they are Hindus or Muslims or Christians or any religion, the Christians are attacked. When the citizens are attacked, who are there to protect them, if not the government?
In other words, you're saying it's the duty of the government, when citizens are under attack, regardless of what their religion may be, to be there to protect them.
Exactly.
Let's focus a little, Cardinal Cleemis, on last week's attack on a church in Hisar, Haryana. The Chief Minister of the state, Mr. Khattar, said in the State Assembly that the priest was luring Hindu youth by promising them brides. Simultaneously, VHP Joint General Secretary Surendra Jain claimed that the church in Haryana was primarily built for purposes of conversion. How do you respond to the Chief Minister and to the Joint General Secretary of the VHP?
About the particular incident and event, I have not studied deeply, but I must say the Christians do their service not for the purpose of any particular divisive act or to induce someone or to take them to the Christian community by power or anything. I can assure you that the Christians do preach the gospel for the sake of love, compassion and charity.
So do you reject the claim made by the Haryana Chief Minister that the priest of that church, I believe his name was Subhash Chand, was luring Hindu youth by promising them brides? Do you reject the claim of the VHP Joint General Secretary that the primary purpose of that church was to convert Hindus to Christianity? Do you reject both those assertions?
The particular incident and the subsequent explanations can be given from that particular church and the parish priest. I'm not in a position to judge what has actually happened there.
You're leaving open the possibility that the Chief Minister may be right in his claim.
I am not to canonize anyone now, but I leave the matter for just and verified truth.
All right. Let me broaden our discussion a little. There is a view held particularly by those who are critical of the Christian church and most prominently by those who carry out these horrible attacks, that in fact the church seeks to convert Hindus to Christianity. This may not be true of the Catholic Church, but as Philip Goldberg, writing in HuffingtonPost.com last year said, it's often true of the smaller evangelical fundamentalist sects who in their literature and in their comments are dismissive if not contemptuous of the Hindu faith, the number of Hindu gods, the Hindu style of worship. As head of the Catholic Bishops' Conference, are you critical of these evangelical fundamentalist sects? Are you dissociating your Catholic Church from them?
I am appreciative of the great Constitution of India, that the citizens are free to choose any religion, to believe in to practice it, and to propagate. And this is what the Constitution of India guarantees. And if anyone preaches his or her belief is constitutional.
So would I be right in concluding from your answer that you believe the behavior of these evangelical fundamentalist sects, and I underline once again, that's not the Catholic faith, I'm talking about small evangelical fundamentalist Christian sects, that their behavior in your eyes is unconstitutional. Am I correct in coming to that conclusion?
All Christians have the right to believe, to practice, and to propagate. And any event or any attempt to convert anyone by force is done by any religious faithful is wrong.
So any conversion by force or by allurement is completely unacceptable. Is that right, sir?
Is unethical.
It's unethical.
Yes.
But is it also unacceptable and wrong?
Is unacceptable and wrong.
Now, in response to the belief that the Christian church is luring Hindus by conversion, and I believe at a point of time not so long ago, the head of the RSS even used the word loot to describe this, organizations like the Dharm Jagran Manch and the Bajrang Dal have launched a Ghar Wapsi campaign. And even after the Prime Minister's very powerful statement in February, the VHP Joint General Secretary insists, as he's told the Times of India, that Ghar Wapsi will continue. How do you, as head of the Catholic Church in India, view Ghar Wapsi?
We all do stand by the assurance of the Constitution, but the terms Ghar Wapsi and such subsequent acts do really confuse people. In a solemn way, converting somebody to one religion and making it as a sign of victory is not something bad for the secular country of ours.
So do you view Ghar Wapsi as unconstitutional?
Anybody has the right to join any religion, and the same person has the right to go back to the religion or to join some other religion. That is fair and constitutional anytime. But we have to keep in mind this is a free choice of the person and the citizen. And if it is done in a very celebrative, solemn way by a group of people, how can we call it?
So the celebratory nature of the Ghar Wapsi campaign is in your eyes both offensive and unconstitutional because it suggests that it's not a voluntary campaign, it's happening by either force or allurement. Have I understood you correctly?
As it stands, the person has the freedom, or the persons have the freedom to choose any religion. But the celebrative mood of a big gang or a group to make it in a public social event which offenses people, whether be it Christian or Hindu or Muslim or any religion.
Cardinal Cleemis, let's take a break at that point. When I come back, I want to broaden our discussion and put to you the core belief of the RSS, which says that all Indians are Hindus, Hindutva is their culture, and ask you, how do you as head of the Catholic Church respond to that assertion? Welcome back to Nothing But the Truth and an interview with the head of the Catholic Bishops' Conference, the head of the Catholic Church in India, Cardinal Basilios Cleemis. Cardinal Cleemis, let's come to the wider core philosophy and ideology of the RSS in terms of how it affects their attitude to Christians and to Muslims. The RSS belief, as expressed by their Sanghchalak Mohan Bhagwat, is that all Indians are Hindus and that Hindutva is their common culture. And they say proof of this is the fact that before Indians became Christians and Muslims, they were Hindus. As a Catholic cardinal, how do you respond to this viewpoint?
all Indians are Indian citizens. Am I right?
Absolutely. So are you saying that all Indians are Indian citizens, and therefore the claim that they were Hindu first before they became Christian and Muslim is both irrelevant and wrong?
I am a Christian, an Indian citizen, an Indian Christian. That is my full identity, and I am proud of that identity, and we all will hold that identity as a community in India. That does not violate or break any part of our citizenship of this great country.
So you reject the RSS viewpoint that all Indians are Hindus, and you reject the argument that Indians who are Christians and Muslims at some point of historical time would have been Hindus before that. You reject both of those.
I reiterate that this great country of ours, India, has many religions, and we belong to the Christian community living in India.
I want Cardinal Cleemis to touch on two other developments with you. Last year, the Modi government chose to redesignate Christmas as Good Governance Day because the 25th of December also happens to be Atal Bihari Vajpayee's birthday. What message did that send out to the Catholic Church?
Good governance should be done every day, but the Christmas, which is a day of importance for all the people, especially for the Christians, have to be given that priority. It should not be substituted by some other promising good governance or any other such beautiful presentations. I feel the community of the Christians in India has to be respected, and Christmas should be celebrated by all.
Did therefore the decision to redesignate Christmas as Good Governance Day upset you?
I was sad.
The second development I want to raise with you is that shortly after the Prime Minister's powerful statement in February, the head of the RSS made a comment about Mother Teresa. He publicly said that the motivation for her service to the sick, the ill, the poor, and the dying was in fact to convert them. What would you like to say to the RSS in response to that comment by the Sangh Sachalak?
That statement was very paining, and it is so sad to hear about Mother Teresa, whom the nation honored with Bharata Ratna, and the world honored her with the Nobel. And the lady who walked in Calcutta just to spread love, compassion, and affection, and who had lot of poor people with her, is being accused. It's a matter of great concern.
Cardinal Cleemis, we've spent the last 20 minutes, 23 minutes talking about the spate of attacks on churches, nuns and priests. We've talked about the Hindutva-style comments being made either by the RSS or by some BJP politicians. Many people believe that these attacks and these comments began shortly after the May national election results, when the BJP won a fairly sizable majority in Parliament. Do you believe that the two are connected?
I would say in this direction that churches are attacked, Christians are attacked, places of worship are attacked, but who are really being attacked if not the citizens of this country? And for convenience sake, we say today this community is attacked and yesterday it was the other community. I personally believe with conviction that Indians are being attacked.
that is to you the most important thing. Indians are being attacked. Don't look at it as an attack on Christians, Muslims, Hindus or whatever. They are Indians and they must be protected by the government. Have I understood that point correctly?
Exactly.
One other point, Cardinal Cleemis. There have been a spate of Hindutva-style comments made by, sadly, ministers. I won't repeat what they've said. That's unnecessary. It's well known. But the sort of people I'm talking about are senior ministers like Kalraj Mishra, Sushma Swaraj, Niranjan Jyoti, but also MPs like Sakshi Maharaj and Adityanath. All of these are people who have sworn to uphold India's secularism. But when they speak like this and get away with it, do you sometimes fear that secularism itself could be in danger?
Yes, I join with you. All of us, all citizens of this great country, have the responsibility to practice and preach and to proclaim to everyone that India is a secular country which has a space for everyone, not only a space, a dignified space for everyone to believe in any religion and even not to believe in any religion. And people in responsibility have to respect the great book of the country, the Constitution of India.
Now, Cardinal Cleemis, we've been talking about BJP ministers and politicians, but unfortunately, on issues like conversion or the redesignation of Christmas as Good Governance Day, we haven't heard a word from either Sonia Gandhi or Rahul Gandhi. And even though Congress spokesperson have joint TV discussions where they've been critical, at the party's official daily conference, the party has had little and usually it's had nothing to say. Do you believe that you are getting the sort of support you want and expect from Congress and the Gandhi family, or are you a little saddened by their silence?
I was deeply moved when I went to Ranagat this last week to visit the nuns in the convent of Jesus Mary at Calcutta. And I felt that the whole community is with the sisters over there, giving them support. Similarly, in many events, all people of goodwill, irrespective of political parties and religious faith, people are coming forward to express their solidarity with those who are affected. And for me, that is an important sign. And I do count the support of the majority of the Hindu brethren in this country in promoting secularism. That is the most important sign of our secularism.
But you sidestepped my question about the silence from Sonia and Rahul Gandhi. Do you not want to talk about that even briefly?
I leave it to those people who are yet to come out and say India is a secular country.
All right, Cardinal Cleemis, let's leave it there. Thank you very much for speaking to me and for sharing with us so fully your views on this critical but deeply upsetting issue.
God bless India. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Cardinal Cleemis. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.